They thought it was just another cargo ship. Slow, defenseless, an easy target. But the moment their drones locked on, they had already sealed their fate. Because this wasn't a helpless tanker. This was a US Navy destroyer. Armed, ready, waiting. What happened next? The Houthis lost everything in exactly 90 seconds. And the response that followed? It changed the entire Red Sea forever. This is the story of the biggest mistake the Houthis ever made. The Red Sea, one of the world's most critical shipping lanes. Billions in cargo pass through here daily. But since late 2023, this vital waterway has become something else entirely. A war zone. Houthi rebels in Yemen started launching attack after attack. Drones, missiles, anything they could fire. Their targets? Any ship they believed had Western connections. Cargo vessels, oil tankers, even neutral carriers. Over 40 confirmed attacks in just months. The shipping industry was bleeding. Insurance rates skyrocketed. Companies started avoiding the Red Sea completely. Ships took the long route around Africa. Weeks added, billions lost. But here's what most people don't know. These weren't just random rebels with homemade weapons. They had access to advanced anti-ship missiles, sophisticated drones, technology that they thought it was just another cargo ship. Slow, defenseless, an easy target. But the moment their drones locked on, they had already sealed their fate. Because this wasn't a helpless tanker. This was a US Navy destroyer. Armed, ready, waiting. What happened next? The Houthis lost everything in exactly 90 seconds. And the response that followed? It changed the entire Red Sea forever. This is the story of the biggest mistake the Houthis ever made. The Red Sea, one of the world's most critical shipping lanes. Billions in cargo pass through here daily. But since late 2023, this vital waterway has become something else entirely. A war zone. Houthi rebels in Yemen started launching attack after attack. Drones, missiles, anything they could fire. Their targets? Any ship they believed had Western connections. Cargo vessels, oil tankers, even neutral carriers. Over 40 confirmed attacks in just months. The shipping industry was bleeding. Insurance rates skyrocketed. Companies started avoiding the Red Sea completely. Ships took the long route around Africa. Weeks added, billions lost. But here's what most people don't know. These weren't just random rebels with homemade weapons. They had access to advanced anti-ship missiles, sophisticated drones, technology that shouldn't be in rebel hands. So the United States stepped in. Operation Prosperity Guardian was launched. The Navy moved in force. Ships like USS Carney, USS Gravely, USS Laboon, they weren't just patrolling, they were hunting. The Carney alone, over 40 drones and missiles shot down. These crews weren't playing defense, they were dominating. But the Houthis kept pushing. They thought they could outlast American patience. They thought wrong. Then came April 2025, the month everything changed. The month they made their fatal mistake. What happened next would remind the entire world why you never, ever target the US Navy. It was just past midnight, Western Yemen. A Houthi launch site near Al-Hudaydah came alive with activity. A swarm of attack drones lifted off. Behind them, an anti-ship cruise missile roared into the night sky. Their target? What they believed was a European-flagged cargo ship. Slow, undefended, easy money. In their command center, operators watched the blips move closer. They had no idea what was waiting. Because that blip on their radar? It wasn't carrying cargo. It was carrying enough firepower to level a city. An Arleigh Burke class guided missile destroyer. 96 vertical launch cells. Aegis combat system. Pure Emmer engineering. Inside the Combat Information Center, the night had been routine. Standard escort operations. Nothing unusual. Then the electronic warfare team picked something up. Strange radar signatures. Incoming. Multiple contacts. Fast. The Aegis system auto-tagged them instantly. Hostile. Inbound. The countdown had begun. Vampires inbound. Multiple bearing 270. The call went out. Vampire. Navy code for incoming missiles. Alarms screamed through every corridor. Sailors who were sleeping seconds ago now sprinted to battle stations. The captain's voice cut through the chaos. Calm, controlled. They had trained for this exact moment. The Aegis system was already 10 steps ahead, tracking, calculating, finding the perfect intercept solution for each threat. Then the order came. Batteries release. The vertical launch cells opened, and hell followed. SM-2 missiles roared out of their cells like thunderbolts. 1, 2, 3, 4, screaming towards their targets. The first drone never knew what hit it. 1 second flying, next second scattered across the Red Sea. Then another and another. The sky became a graveyard. Every Houthi drone met the same fate, but some got closer. That's when the CIWS came online, the close-in weapon system, the last wall. 4,500 rounds per minute, a solid wall of tungsten. The remaining drones didn't stand a chance. 90 seconds, that's all it took. Every single Houthi drone and missile, floating debris. Total, absolute dominance. On the destroyer, the immediate threat was over. 0 hits, 0 casualties, complete victory. But this wasn't finished. Within minutes, secure communications reached Central Command. The Houthis had attacked a U.S. warship. The response was already decided. At Central Command, target packages were already prepared, coordinates locked. This wasn't going to be a proportional response. Hours later, aboard a carrier strike group in the Arabian Sea, flight decks came alive, pilots suited up. These weren't patrol flights, these were strike packages. And the target? Every launch site that attacked that destroyer. F/A-18 Super Hornets, EA-18 Growlers. They launched in waves, heading straight for western Yemen. The strike came in 3 phases, each one designed to systematically dismantle Houthi capabilities. Phase 1 was silent. Growlers moved in first. Electronic warfare. Houthi radar systems went blind. Their communications turned to static. On the ground, Houthi air defense operators saw nothing, heard nothing. They had no idea what was coming. Phase 2, suppression. AGM-88 harm missiles locked on any radar that dared to turn on and erased them. Surface-to-air missile sites went up in flames. The Houthis' air defense network gone in minutes. The sky belonged to America. Then came Phase 3, the hammer. Super Hornets dropped through the clouds with one mission: complete destruction. GBU-38 JDAMs, GPS-guided 2,000 pounds of precision destruction. The launch sites never stood a chance. First target, drone storage warehouse, direct hit. The secondary explosions confirmed they hit the jackpot. Ammunition everywhere. Second target, command bunker. The Houthis who ordered the attack, they had front row seats to American justice. Third target, coastal radar tower. The eyes that helped coordinate every Red Sea attack, burning metal now. From fishing boats offshore, the sky over Yemen looked like daylight. Explosion after explosion. The message was clear. Above it all, MQ-9 Reapers watched, recording every destroyed target, every piece of intelligence for the next strike. Before sunrise, every aircraft was heading home. 0 losses, mission complete. The Houthis had lost everything. Satellite images released the next day showed the truth. Scorched earth, collapsed bunkers, a capability erased. By morning, the whole world was watching. Every government, every military, every intelligence agency, taking notes. In Beijing, Chinese officials reviewed every detail. The speed, the precision, the total dominance. They remembered it. In Moscow, Russian commanders watched too. The same navy they'd underestimated, the same technology they couldn't match. And in Tehran, the Houthis' biggest backers watched their investment turn to smoke. Their message to the region silenced. Shipping companies noticed too. Within days, more vessels returned to the Red Sea route. American protection meant something. This wasn't just about Yemen. It was about demonstrating something the world needed reminding. American reach is global. For the Houthis, the math was simple now. Every attack would cost them more than they could possibly gain. In the weeks that followed, Houthi attacks slowed. Not stopped completely, but they thought twice now, every single time.
And the US Navy? Still there, still patrolling, still ready. The Red Sea was theirs, and everyone knew it. Some lessons have to be taught the hard way. The Houthis learned theirs in 90 seconds and 24 hours. Will they try again? Probably. They always do. But now they know. Every launch is tracked. Every site is mapped. American eyes are everywhere. Satellites, drones, ships. The Houthis can rebuild, but they can't hide. And the next time they fire, the response won't take 24 hours. It might take 24 minutes. The Red Sea stays open. Global trade keeps moving because someone stands guard, whether the world appreciates it or not. That's what this is really about. Not politics, not posturing, protection, and the will to use force when needed. So, let's recap. The Houthis fired their best shot. Drones, missiles, everything they had. They hit a ship that turned their entire attack into scrap metal in 90 seconds. And before the sun rose, their launch capability was burning rubble. The whole world took notice. Friends
and enemies alike. The message was received. You don't get free shots at the United States Navy. Every attack has a price, and America collects. But here's the real question. Is this over? Can strikes alone stop a group this determined? We want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Should America hit harder, or is this enough? If you were commanding that destroyer, what would you have done? Held back or gone even harder? If this story hit different, smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the bell. Because we've got more stories like this coming. Stories the mainstream won't tell you. The Houthis made a mistake, a big one, and they paid for it in fire. Remember this, you target a US warship, you better not miss, because what follows isn't a warning, it's fire. Thanks for watching. Stay sharp, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next one.